Welcome to Hack Talks, brought to you by NetWitness Incident Response Team, your weekly dive into the hottest picks, the strangest twists, and the you couldn't make this up moments in cybersecurity. I'm Gordon Dixon, your host based in Glasgow, Scotland. And every week we break down what's happening out there, challenge a bit of conventional thinking, and of course, we crown this week's epic fail. I'm joined as always by Stephano Maccaglia, the director based in Rome. Ciao, Stefano.
Hey guys. Thank you.
And James Sobel, Senior Manager in Merritt Island, Florida. Hi, James.
Hey. Good to be with you all again.
It's great to have you both here. So thank you for joining us today. And it's a little bit different in the sense that we're not going to discuss the news as such, but we are going to talk about where you two have recently come back from, which is Black Hat MEA. That's the Cybersecurity Conference, as shown on Stefano's hoodie, in Riyadh. That was at the early December 2025. And so first of all, before we discuss what happened there and your thoughts about it, let's play this clip of some film that Stefano and James made while they were there.
So, James, about you. After these few days in the conference, before we wrap up. So, what is your first thought about this conference? What you take from the conference?
So much energy here, so much excitement around cyber. Just the noise in the booth. It's hard to have a conversation. There's so much going on here.
And I want to say hello to Gordon first.
Hey, Gordon.
Second thing is, meanwhile, Gordon was doing his own thing, and we decided to bring in another person that really is meaningful for our team, right? That guy over there. So it seems that he did several demos with a success.
Yes.
From that perspective, do you keep anything from this demo that you can bring back to the US?
Well, just before I even say that, this man demoing NetWitness draws a crowd. Oh my God, people just kept coming into the booth. We couldn't handle them all. So amazing job there, and goes to just how interesting and how excited people are about NetWitness, especially when they get to see it.
Yeah. So
IR perspective.
Well, it was only puzzle when somebody raised a question that was connected with how environmental friendly is the Eagle.
Very environmental, especially with the application rules and network rules, where you can drop the payload that's not needed to save some storage, which is going to save the environment even more.
But how many watt of power is the Eagle burning to run during a traditional analysis?
How many kilowatts?
55, 70 watt? Maybe, yes.
Maybe. Small.
Very small. So,
infinitesimal.
Compared to all these potential data center level solutions, integrating AI, heating AI, chewing AI, shaping AI.
Stefano, I bet I could have a set of solar panels inside the conference that would generate enough energy to power Eagle to run the investigations we need.
That's really
that's all you need.
Say hello. Say hello.
Hello. Before they
Somebody
escalate.
cover you. Say hello. Welcome to the third day in a row about this conference. Okay. So this time I have a big question for you, Mr. James. So, if you need, with a single phrase, to qualify why your company is better than any other company in the world, what you say?
Why are we better?
You know? Yeah.
Because we can do it better than AI will ever do.
Reminds me about something.
Okay, that looked like a lot of fun, gents. So first of all, tell me, Stefano, why we go to Black Hat, and also then what did you take from the event? What kind of things did you see people sort of raising in the conference, in the questions, in the seminars, and what conversations you both had when you were talking to people at the event?
Yeah, thank you, Gordon. It was a nice trip. It was a nice conference to get there, and to, let's say, turn around and see around. There was a number of topics that were brought. Obviously, AI is making the big under the spotlight, the big impact into overall the discussions at the conference. But buzzwords apart, let's say, I found interesting, let's say, proposal in terms of technology from different players, some new players in the market. Even for the NDR, we went, me and James, speaking with new, let's say, companies operating at the ISP level, which were bringing some interesting solutions. Other than that, well, usual, let's say, EDR, SOC tooling available, discussions about services. Surely a central impact was the establishment of the central authority for the cybersecurity incidents in Saudi. Other than, obviously, some discussions running through the stands between the big players in the Saudi market, which involved also us as part of, let's say, the NDR SIM ecosystem and the services. We spoke with some existing customers that we collected for some feedbacks from regarding our services. More importantly, I found interesting to discuss the OT area. OT is growing. Perception on the OT, let's say, security is still rising. And there are some elements that surely went discussed specifically in that for the oil and gas and for the transportation. So these were potentially the most significant elements we interacted with, apart from having a lot of fun between the stands, joking with people, joking with, let's say, commercials and sales people, because some of them were having very peculiar way to deliver their, let's say, arguments. James, what do you think?
Some very interesting questions. Hey, my first time in Saudi, my first time at this event, and I was very much impressed with the sophistication of the people attending, their interests, a lot of interest. We just had Hassan from the team kind of having a discussion with somebody about NetWitness. So he's in the product, he's showing it, he's showing what we do and how we do it with the product. People you just gather around and soaking it up. A lot of interest there. And as Stefano, you noted, oil and gas, and I would add finance, right? Just massive areas here in Saudi. It all seems concentrated, a lot of opportunities. And then as you noted as well, kind of a lot of the same players, the same stuff, with that weird AI twist that we see everywhere, and some really unusual questions about energy utilization. So I mean, that just that was interesting. And then maybe a whole nother episode we can talk about how hard it was for you to get that hoodie. I mean, that was just an exercise in that took some persistence, and you should receive a small award for persistence and being able to work through a system that was not very easy to understand or navigate.
I broke the same persistency of APT 28 to obtain this. Surely, I mean, unbearable.
Unbearable.
And obviously, both of you go to a lot of these similar events, during the course of the year. So, what do you see as the value of us being at an event? I think you're hinting at it, the opportunity to meet people, both customers, but I guess also you're meeting competitors and partners and other people that work within cybersecurity. What's the appeal of these events for you both as members of the incident response team?
Well, from the perspective of, let's say, the practitioners, I know this year an advancement compared to the previous year. I went there in the last 3 years in a row. So I noticed the evolution, let's say, and I can obviously say that right now, the practitioners, especially for the incident response, are growing in capacity, growing in knowledge, growing in experience, which is surely important because it makes the interaction more mature, especially for the technical area connected with the investigation work streams. Regarding the technologies, I cannot tell you that there is much different, let's say, elements to bring as a new compared to the previous conference we went in the year. But surely what was most significant, again, was the interest in the OT, the interest in, let's say, addressing specifically with the capabilities, with the technical soft skill, with technical capabilities, the investigations in the OT environment, other than cloud. Cloud was remarkably, let's say, new to this conference compared to the previous years, especially because the paradigm is changing. Of course, the cloud is not considered in the way that, let's say, in other areas are considered, in other regions are considered, not public, let's say, cloud solutions, but private clouds, which is, in my personal opinion, the best approach possible to take the advantage of both worlds. And from that perspective as well, some interaction went spent into discussing the approaches, the tooling, and the strategies to investigate cloud environments during a crisis. James.
Yeah, I would just add on to that, or maybe take it a little further and say influence. Influence is a big reason for us to be there. And I think you just demonstrated, Stefano, one of the ways that we were able to start to influence, our potential, customers in the area and other like-minded, analysts and individuals. I would also note, there were several times we ran into students at the conference. This was a way for us, again, to influence people at an early stage in their career, direct them, help them. Some of them were their pitches were quite interesting. And I think one actually, hit a sweet spot. She had a really, a really impactful resume and presentation. And I believe she got an interview with one of our colleagues. So there's the ability for us to influence, mold, and shape, as well as obviously take in all the things that our customers are asking. And Stefano, you obviously nailed it. OT, cloud, private cloud, right? We're able to lock into that and help people understand how our messaging and our capability relates to those hot, fresh topics.
Yeah, you're spot on, James. Before we move forward, I can tell you one of the most exciting interest and discussion we went through was with the university. They were looking for some partnership with technological and services company to bring knowledge to the student, which is something I really appreciate. And the level of interaction was absolutely interesting, absolutely outstanding on that specific area. So yes, that was surely one of the best experiences that I took from the conference.
Yes, because it has that strong regional focus. So this was the Middle East and Africa, event, and obviously what you guys were accessing was, in that sense, the kind of cybersecurity kind of landscape, not just at present, but as you say, with interacting with students, with the future. So these are connections and sort of interactions that you're making that will last a lot longer. And we may be, you know, in front of some of the people that you had brief conversations in, who are then heading up, you know, different departments or different areas, you know, in the future, and needing, you know, our expertise and our support. So yes, it's a really important aspect, isn't it? That face-to-face, you know, meeting in a large venue full of everybody that's interested in cybersecurity in that particular part of the world. A quick question. Obviously, I wasn't there. I was here at home in rainy Scotland. So I suppose what would be fun is for you to perhaps share some of your kind of top tips for attending conferences. You know, what's the best way to grab some swag, and what's one of the things that you always ensure that you do when you're out there, like whether it's keeping hydrated, not missing breakfast, you know, piling up for the day. What's the more kind of practical advice that you both have of navigating events like this when you're on your feet all day talking to dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of people?
Well, the first thing is bring the towel, as usual. Other than that, for sure, it's a bit of sense of humor. Otherwise, everything seems boring. Okay, cybersecurity is surely a very serious, let's say, topic and a discipline, but it's good to approach with a bit of a smile and to have some fun with the people, especially when you are discussing about potential crisis. Okay, potential crisis, very serious argument as well, but with a bit sense of English, let's say humor, or even Italian humor and spaghetti accent is important for interacting in the best way and the best interaction possible. James?
Yeah, that confidence and a little sense of appropriate humor, you know, shows a capability. And I think that is something that is, you know, it's a soft skill to bring, but this is our chance. These conferences are a chance for us to humanize things. You know, it's not about the machines so much at this point. It's about the people. And we find that happens a lot. Again, maybe a topic for another episode, but just really getting individuals to be able to make an impact in this environment is a difficult topic, is a difficult challenge. So that's something that you want to bring to these events. And I would say, Gordon, you started to check the right boxes. Get some sleep, you know, keep it clean. You know, one of the things that you have to do, though, you're going to a conference, it's in Saudi Arabia, maybe it's in Africa, go get some local fare, go get some food, and go with a local. We were lucky enough to have one of the team members who resides there kind of take us out for a meal and just go enjoy some local culture. That'll help you in those conversations going forward. And it's a treat and it's an honor to be able to do those kind of things.
Gordon, one last element regarding this. Surely when you land, the first thing is search for the good coffee, which in Saudi is relatively good. So I was having a good coffee that is not normal in other part of the world, to be honest with you. So that was another aspect that is remarkable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. These guys are always keeping me, they've elevated my coffee game substantially. So it's hidden benefit from attending this conference.
Yeah, I'm sure, Stefano, living in Rome, that you don't just have a sort of list of the best places to go get an espresso in the city, but a longer list of all the places to avoid. So I know that a decent coffee, if you're marking something out as being passable, acceptable, then it's a very high standard. So that's something I look forward to learning more about.
Absolutely. I will surely show you some coffee in some spots to take it.
You will be assimilated.
Terrific. So we played a clip earlier of your time at the event. We've got another short clip now because you did happen to come across an epic fail that you wanted to share and score. And so we'll play the clip and then maybe Stefano and James, you can talk a little bit more about it, and then I can share my score as well. So we'll play the clip first.
So we are closing the second day here with the Black Hat, and apart from the fun things that we discussed earlier, there are some good news. I mean, that is good to discuss, to at least to present. For example, there was a very good and qualified set of participants this year at the conference, which means that even from the, let's say, cybersecurity perspective, people tend to grow their knowledge. Then the environment here in Saudi is growing, which is a very good news. It means that our efforts come, let's say, all together is generating results. James, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a really great positive call on the environment you see here. Just a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, big crowds. Definitely the foundation is in place for better days.
And good questions, technically speaking, but there is one that potentially goes into the epic fail too, which is, what is the potential environmental impact of our storage to store the raw metadata and packets?
Yeah, I don't think NetWitness will be building a data center anywhere to be able to do that, or the power stations required for all those data centers. Just the amount of energy that AI needs is nothing. We're dropping that in that ocean. Dropping that ocean.
For me, this epic fail score 7.
Oh, I'd say an 8, maybe a 9.
We will see what Gordon says.
Okay, so do you want to, Jens, do you want to give us a little bit more insight into what we heard there?
Yeah, James, you're first.
Yeah, you bet. And it was, sometimes the fail is something that, maybe an old, something we've always had, an issue with or a concern about. Or this one was one of those slap you in the face. Where did that come from? A concern. It started off as a concern, and then Stefano and I kind of expanded on it a little bit to cover that whole AI phenomenon, right? And so just to the origin of the fail itself, we're listening to one of our colleagues give an amazing presentation about NDR and its value, and one question just comes out of nowhere from the audience, which is, what's the energy footprint of this capability? Are you able to do this in an environmentally friendly way? And in my 12 years at NetWitness and 15, 16 in the security business, I have never heard anyone even come close to thinking about that. Yeah, I mean, what energy footprint? I mean, as we mentioned, we could probably run a NetWitness Eagle appliance on solar panels. What are they thinking? And in my mind, the fail here is we have convoluted, with kind of the move to AI and the desire to take advantage of that, just this deep, kind of craze that has taken over people in order to somehow lock into that, gets you to weird places and big fails like, how much energy is that AI solution using? Stefano, what do you think?
Well, I can tell you, I was expecting any type of question after, let's say, our colleague's presentation, but that, let's say, climate-friendly question was totally, let's say, out of the blue. I wasn't expecting anything like that, and obviously our colleague was kind of like, what? And we were having a lot of fun with that. But joking apart, to be honest, it's kind of like trying to measure, I don't know, the temperature with, something that is totally unrelated. I mean, surely you can potentially think about it, but compared to the AI thing, this small feature inside an NDR is absolutely nothing compared in terms of energy consumption, right? So that was hilarious. So we started joking more and more about this, and basically the entire day we spent time discussing about the eco-friendly energy account regarding this or that. So it was hilarious, to be honest.
That was a study in the absurd, just an absurdity and a gateway into that kind of cliff people have jumped off, right? And a warning, hey, come on back. That's just a little too nutty. Come on back to some of the basics, and we'll all be okay. And there's plenty of power to go around to run NetWitness.
It was interesting for me in the sense that, these like hot topics that occur within the kind of wider society or in relation to another aspect of technology or cybersecurity, is that they then inform, questions around that. So, I think that's the interesting thing for me, that, depending on who you're talking to, if we imagine this question coming up in a sales meeting, it wouldn't have been from one of the technical people. They would understand the kind of scope and the demand, of the product, but that could have been the CFO. It could have been, someone stepping outside who didn't have that same technical background, but is hearing that conversation about data centers and having to build so many new kind of sort of, energy production systems to be able to cope with them all. So I think that was the thing that was interesting for me. And also a lot of government organizations start to be audited, maybe more so in Europe and things, is that it does become another thing that someone will ask about, as part of a process. So it was interesting, but it did remind me of my time as a trainer in a call center in my early years, of like some of the crazy questions that people would ask us with regard to whether it was applying for a visa to the United States or about their energy bill or about their bank statement. The more bizarre the question, the better. So I think I would give you both and our colleagues out there that had to handle the question a kind of 10 out of 10 for keeping their cool while they were dealing with it. But yes, as far as relevancy concerned, I think I'd be scoring this a kind of sort of 6 or 7. It isn't necessarily relevant to what we're offering our customers. So I think I agree with you guys.
I agree with you regarding the scoring. Obviously, it was not that big, legendary epic fail, but surely it took even the audience completely unprepared. So yeah. I noticed people looking between them say, why? They were asking something like that. I mean, our colleague was presenting the way to investigate through the NDR cyber criminal attacks. And obviously, the energy bill was not discussed in any step there. So yeah. I tell you, it was like discussing the weather with the penguins.
Yeah. Yes. Switching on NetWitness Incident Response is not like boiling a kettle at home and you suddenly see the little needle flash round on your smart meter. Yeah, for sure.
This week's big fail for is Sam.
I think this is the harbinger. This is the. I thought this was a bigger fail, not the questioner, right? Yes, I agree with you guys completely. This was off, but the fact that somebody even asked this, we've never heard this before. Someone even thought this up. It means, if you think about it just a little bit more, there's IT, there's something that's really hard, and then there is all this cybercrime, all these things, and then what we've said is, well, it's going to take even more capability to deal with that. And now someone has layered AI on top, which we're starting to wonder whether there's enough power to run. It just, all of it seems absurd. And hopefully bringing this up, we can, bring things back to a place where we can all do a little better. and maybe all joking aside, I really appreciate the levity of that, that they kind of made our conference from that perspective. but hopefully we can get back to the business of helping some people out for sure.
But I thank whoever planned to ask this question, because it gave us the chance to speak about these and joking about these for an entire day, which is incredible.
That was your last conference of 2025. So as we sort of think forward to the rest of 2026, what events have you already sort of got penciled in to your diary already? Where are you hoping to go, or what you want to do? And then maybe also a bit like the questions that people were coming to you with about NetWitness or about incident response or cybersecurity. What do you think are going to be the questions people are going to be asking us during the course of maybe at least the first half of next year, if not pre World Cup, rather than what happens afterwards when Italy, America, and Scotland are battling out in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, the next 6 months, what do you see coming up, and have you any other plans and places to go?
Finger crossed regarding Italy team for the soccer World Cup. Let's see. But apart from that, well, surely we will be on RSA conference. Surely we will participate to the CISEC in Egypt. Surely we will make some presence into other conferences like GoWare in Singapore during the year, in the second part of the year. Be honest, the reason for, let's say, attending these events is always to keep, let's say, the temperature regarding the specific countries, the specific, let's say, practitioners in that area. For the RSA conference is normally because there is the moment where we gather globally. So it's a very important moment in time during the year where we have the chance to interact with customers coming from every part of the world. Other than that, well, there are some local conferences. This year, we will surely also carry out some capture the flag, organizing this capture the flag into some conferences. And the other thing that is kind of like our vows for 2026 is to, as anticipated, help universities and colleges in building up new training programs on the IR, on the cybersecurity in general. We will be very active in Qatar, in Saudi, but also in other regions, because we started to launch an education channel, an education program that will potentially impact this specific type of audience. So these are the items we have in the table for 2026, other than obviously continue to investigate in full incidents and situations, because this is our core business and we love the game, right? We love our work. James.
I think, 2026 is the year that we really inject, the appliance, what we call the Eagle appliance, into the equation. That's going to give us an advantage that no one else has, and we're very excited about that. Probably more to come there. Stefano, you mentioned RSA conference, and hopefully we get a chance to maybe do a little event there. And I think, I personally am looking forward to, maybe some more events, maybe getting you guys both into the US for a change. Come on over, and hopefully we can, reignite this marketplace over here. There's a lot to do and a lot going on.
Yes, absolutely. And as far as our plans are concerned for Hack Talks, we also, as well as producing these episodes every week, we also want to have the opportunity to do some live events as well, isn't it? So because I've been with NetWitness now for over a year and a half, and I'm yet to meet Stefano and James, or if I did, it was very briefly at our SKO in Dubai last March. So there may have been a very brief hello, but certainly since we started working closer together, we've not actually been in the same room together. So we're looking forward to turning these conversations into something a little bit more in person, not just for the three of us, but also for the people watching and following us as well. We'd love to do something with you as well. So there's some of the things that we hope to achieve during the course of the year.
You have been watching Hack Talks.
So thank you very much for everyone. This has been a bonus episode of Hack Talks, going about Stefano and James's time at Black Hat MEA in December. So thank you, Stefano and James, for joining me today. And of course, thank you for you tuning in. This has been Hack Talks from NetWitness Incident Response, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
And with that, that brings us to the end of this bonus episode on Black Hat. I'm going to have to go. We're going to have to do this again because my door's just gone. So,
all right.
Okay.
Hey.
Maybe we should have a unboxing episode.
Yeah, unboxing
what is
episode would be
now?
nice.
This might not stay in because I've got no idea what it is. If it's anything incriminating, then
yeah, that's risky, Gordon. I don't know. It's
come on. The BlackHat
it's not incriminating, but it's embarrassing. It's some socks.